I did not think that this was going to happen. I don't care how many picks are involved. I did not think this was going to happen. I did not think that the Brooklyn Nets would be foolish enough to help out the New York Knicks. I kept saying it. I didn't think it was going to happen. I joked about it. I made videos like this. I've never seen this Squidward meme be so accurate. Please, Knicks, go get this guy, Mikal. Bring all the Villanova boys here, for reals.
I'm going to get you out of here. I promise you, I'm going to get you out of there.
But here we are, years after begging and pleading for the Knicks to just draft this kid. Mikal Bridges is a Knick. Mikal Bridges is officially a New York Knick. News breaking that Mikal Bridges has been officially traded hours before the NBA draft. And speaking of the NBA draft, the Knicks didn't even have to give up a pick from this year's NBA draft. So we still got that going on, but there's so many questions following it. What is the roster gonna look like? Who's staying? Who are we gonna bring back? Who's being retained? Who's being signed? The big question that's on everyone's mind, OG Anunoby. Does this mean that the Knicks conceded in the chase for OG Anunoby? Hell, by the time I'm making this and releasing this video at whatever time this is coming out, we might have got that answer. But as of right now, I have some thoughts and I want to talk them out. But hey, I guess we back. Run the intro. What's going on, CK crew? It's your boy CK2K and welcome back to another video. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, all that fun stuff. I know, CK, you ain't uploading 2 months. Who cares about that? We're back now, and we're back better than ever. New location, by the way. Hope you like the new studio. But yeah, man, hours before the draft, the New York Knicks officially made the move for Mikal Bridges. Specifically, the move looks like this. According to Woj, the Knicks are sending 4 protected picks, 2025, 2027, 2029, and 2030. Those all being Knicks picks. They're also sending a 2025 protected Milwaukee first, not ours, 2028 unprotected pick swap, and a 2025 second round pick. So you heard it. That's 6 first round picks and 1 second round picks in order to get Mikal Bridges, as well as Bojan Bogdanovic, who stayed for a hot dog and is on his way back across the bridge, back to the Brooklyn Nets, a team that he played for in the past. And, you know, before we talk about anything else around just that move, and also the Brooklyn Nets then used some of those picks in the move with Houston, but I could care less about that. We could talk about that in the future when that makes any sense. But 2 things stand out with this move. One, it started in 2025 pick, 2027 pick, 29. Obviously, we're skipping years along the way, so we still have picks that we can keep and use for drafts in the future. And also, more importantly, the Knicks have their draft pick for this year's draft here in a few days, or in a few hours at that. But the key thing, you see this and you think to yourself, that's a lot of picks, man. You gave him a lot of unprotected picks to get Mikal Bridges. Initially, you want to be upset about that just because of the mere thought of you giving up a lot to get one player, especially a guy who has not been an all-star level player that people are going to, you know, look at like that. Stats are, you know, pretty good for a solid piece on an NBA team. But here's the thing, man. You got to do what you got to do to get a piece that's going to ultimately fit a basketball team of our caliber right now that are looking for final pieces to go for a championship. I mean, barring whatever happens next with the Knicks, OG Anunoby gets re-signed, Julius Randle ends up staying, whatever the case may be, Mikal Bridges immediately adds help right now from a scoring standpoint and from a defensive standpoint. More importantly than any of those things, a health standpoint. I feel like the factor of Mikal Bridges being healthy throughout the entirety of his career thus far is something that's going to be completely forgotten about. Mikal Bridges stays on the court, something that the New York Knicks need desperately. Last year, the only thing that stopped us from doing anything in any kind of title run is health. And with a guy like Mikal Bridges, who's able to provide things that are needed for this team at that position and health, that's a vital thing. So to be honest with you, to take the gamble and give up those picks to get a guy like Mikal Bridges, to me, is not the biggest deal. I know that's crazy to say, 6 firsts, majority of them unprotected, and a second to get them, and we also lost Bojan Bogdanovic. It is what it is. I like the gamble. I'm here for it when it comes to getting Mikal Bridges. But here now is the follow-up question, because on top of that, we also saw Woj talking about this. The Knicks are still determined to keep OG Anunoby in free agency, sources tell ESPN, but the ability to re-sign center Isaiah Hartenstein becomes more difficult now. The Knicks are loading up on wings to match up with the NBA champion Boston Celtics. And that is what I've been asking for. If you put Mikal Bridges on one side and OG Anunoby on the other side, who is getting past that? I don't care if you're talking about Eastern Conference, Western Conference, good luck. We got Jalen Brunson going to be able to run ragged out there and do whatever he wants to do on an offensive standpoint, but defensively, you're looking at that. And not to mention OG Anunoby, who was upping his offensive game, especially in the mid-range. We know Mikal Bridges had a few 40 and 30-point nights since becoming a Brooklyn Net. We know what his ability can be, and chemistry is a hell of a drug. Ask Dante DiVincenzo in his first season with the New York Knicks. Guys tend to do more when you're out there playing with your boys and playing with guys that you have chemistry with. So there's so many aspects to this move that puts the Knicks in such a good spot. But the key thing here is Adrian Wojnarowski talking about the fact that the Knicks are still pointing at trying to get OG Anunoby. But the thing that's being left out is there's a lot of aspects to that. Money. Now, mind you, yes, financially straight up, we probably could afford that, but then we're going to be ultimately strapped for cash. So then, which raises a few questions for me. We saw the rumors about Mitchell Robinson being up for trade a few days ago. And we also saw the rumors that are still very loose and not really sure what to believe or not. But we did see the rumor going back and forth as far as the Knicks listing the offers for Julius Randle. And it leads you to believe in a move like this where you want to spend that money, where you're spending anywhere between $30 to $35 million a year on OG Anunoby. You got to think there's got to be a possibility that the Knicks are going to unload a contract like Julius Randle in order to make that happen. I know saying that is very crazy. This is an all-star level player, and this is not disrespect. It's just the reality that that is something to also be paying attention to. Do the Knicks do that to ultimately get OG Anunoby back? Because I'm having an issue with the thought of the Knicks trading away two young talents in RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly to get OG Anunoby on a rental and then not still go after it and do everything possible to bring him in. There has to be a long-term thought process here in order to have him stay as a New York Knick. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm keeping my eye on Julius Randle and the possibility of him getting swapped in order for us to get more depth as well as get some more draft picks to replenish what we gave up in this Mikal Bridges trade. But that's my 2 cents. What says you? What do you think about that Julius Randle aspect to the deal? Am I crazy? Am I tripping? Let me know. That's just what I think. But circling back to the Mikal Bridges deal initially, Ian Begley dropped a tweet that I feel like nobody's talking about, and that is how this deal came to fruition. What made the Nets want to be able to make a deal with us? Ian Begley tweeted this. The Mikal Bridges deal came together quickly after Bridges informed the Nets that he wanted to be a Knick. We heard the rumor that Mikal Bridges wanted to be traded. It wasn't specific as far as him wanting to be a Knick, but according to Begley, it was specific. He went to him and he said, I want to play for the New York Knicks. Bridges was prepared to sign with the New York Knicks, and his side was prepared to use that leverage to keep other teams away from trading for him, per sources at SNY. So that kind of pigeonholed the Nets into having to make a deal with us. Now, to be honest with you, as much as I want to point and laugh at the Brooklyn Nets for making a deal and helping the Knicks get better, they still did come away with this pretty solid and getting a lot of draft picks. And you're seeing them also rework deals to get better picks from the Houston Rockets, because most likely in those years, the Knicks are going to be solid. So who's to even say what those draft picks are even going to be for Brooklyn? So the Knicks already, or the Nets already doing what they can to make those picks more worthwhile for them in a deal with Phoenix and Houston. But it's crazy to think that Mikal Bridges was already, I mean, it's not crazy, it's expected. But it's also funny to see that Mikal Bridges was going to do whatever he could to make sure that he came to the New York Knicks. And look, man, I'm here for it. Ultimately, the deal itself, I'm happy for. I think Mikal Bridges brings a lot of what is needed for this team. And the biggest thing is health. I think the fact that he's going to be available is huge, and we're going to be very, very, very happy with that. But I also think there's going to be another level of his game that's going to be unlocked with him being on this team, playing with his guys in Jalen Brunson, Dante, Josh. Chemistry adds a whole other level to NBA teams, and we saw that this year. A lot of these teams that lack chemistry, no matter how good their team is, they suck. But the teams that have the chemistry they end up playing a bit harder for one another. And I think that's going to be something that's going to be underrated and cannot be seen on a scouting report when it comes to the New York Knicks. But he's officially here, man. After all these years of me making those videos of us drafting for Mikal Bridges back in the day, and then me making further videos and us hoping that we could bring him to the New York Knicks, it is officially official. How are you feeling? Everything I'm saying is hearsay and hopes, because, you know, by Friday or even by Thursday, or hell, even by the draft, a lot of things might happen. OG might end up getting signed. Julius might get traded. But what says you initially right now following the deal for Mikal Bridges? Let it be known in the comment section below. Let me know, or let me hear all of your thoughts of what is coming next. But here he is, man. Here he is, Mikal Bridges in the Knicks jersey. Now, for some house cleaning, I need to know, because I'm going to get a Mikal Bridges jersey. That's a given. But I'm really hoping, Mikal, if you're hearing this part, Mikal, I'm hoping you keep the number 1, because the 1 Bridges in a Knicks uniform would look so cool. I understand 25's available. That was your number with, with Villanova and when you got drafted. But just hear me out. I'm gonna see you guys on the KFTV draft show, so we'll probably talk more about this there. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell. Don't forget to hit that like button. It's me, your boy CK. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. All right, I'm here. The break's over. The free agency has begun. Knicks offseason has begun. I'm here. What's next? I'll see you guys next. I'm out of here. Peace. I can't hold a frown.